Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 70 of the Cleveland Spiders franchise here on MLB The Show 21. Last episode we had the 2022 MLB Draft where we got to the newest prospects into our organization, but today I wanted to go back and look at our prospects from the 2021 MLB Draft to see how they're doing. Last year we made 7 picks, starting off with Berg, Derrick Garc, Damien, Todd Fisher, Steve Arthur, Robert Wyatt, and Mariano Ortega. Now, we signed 5 out of those 7. 2 of them did not return, but I wanted to give an update to see how everybody is doing, even the ones we didn't sign. So if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. I'm experimenting with this kind of episode, and I want to know, what do you guys think? Now, the last pick we made in last year's draft was Mariano Ortega, the Dominican Republic pitcher, and we drafted him in the 6th round. He was a 66 overall C potential. We couldn't agree on a contract, so he actually went back to the Dominican Republic. And this is actually gameplay of him in the 2020 Summer Olympics in Japan against Puerto Rico, where he pitched pretty well. Now, unfortunately, Dominican Republic did lose. We didn't sign Ortega, but it looks like his future, he is just going to stay in the Dominican Republic. Now, the pick we made in front of him was Robert Wyatt, a starting pitcher from Fresno, California, who had 60 overall B potential. He would have been a steal of a draft in the 5th round, but unfortunately, we couldn't get a contract signed with Robert Wyatt. He thinks he should have been higher. He thinks he should have got paid a little bit more. So Robert Wyatt, at 18 years old, who was from San Joaquin High School in Fresno, California, actually went to college. Now, he originally committed to play for Fresno State. He actually decommitted and went to LSU instead and had a phenomenal freshman year where he led LSU to the College World Series final. Now, his draft stock has soared greatly. He made the right decision. And when he comes back into the draft, he's a projected 1st-round talent. So Robert Wyatt bet on himself, and it actually worked out. Here's his card from when we picked him last year, and some of those have actually increased some. A B potential, 60 overall, 6 foot, 217, who throws a 2-seamer, a slider, a changeup, and a curve. Whoever picks him in a couple years will be getting a solid player. We'll have to see if the Spiders can do it again. Now, on to the players that we actually drafted. We're going to start off with our top pick, who's currently playing in low A ball. Yes, we are down at low A today at Lynchburg, Virginia, with the Lynchburg Hillcats taking on the Delmarva Shorebirds of low A East Division to take a look at Berg. Now, I told you this would be a very immersive franchise. We're getting more immersive than ever. Now, Berg was the 24th pick in the past draft. He is a 66 overall A potential starting pitcher out of Overland Park, Kansas, via Blue Valley Southwest High School. Now, he was 18 years old when he was picked, and part of the reason why I picked him, he has great velocity and break. His 4 pitches he throws are a 2-seamer, a 12-6 curveball, a changeup, and a slider. And his pitches have plenty of movement, and his fastball has some gas. Now, the reason why Berg is still in single A is, 1, I don't want to rush him. He's only 18 years old, so Berg gets plenty of time to develop. And because he does need to work on some of his other areas. You can see in this game his control was a little iffy at times. He walked a good bit of batters in this game, and he can get hit around a little bit. So I think Berg does need to hone in on some of those other areas of his game, but I do think Berg, with his A potential, has a very good chance to potentially one day be a very important factor in the rotation. Now, when that will be, I have his ETA at 2023. Now, I know 2023 is next year, but I think Berg would be a late 2023 ETA. Maybe he's somebody who comes up in September call-ups. And no reason why I also say 2023 is because, as you've seen this year, our starting pitching depth is a little iffy. Bieber went out for the year. We had to call up Ethan Hankins, and maybe Berg is that guy next year. If we don't fix our pitching depth, I can see Berg maybe getting called up a little before he's potentially ready, which is what I don't want to do. Ideally, I think he would be a 2024 guy, come up in spring training in a couple of years, see what he's got, maybe head back down to the minors. But Berg, our top pick in last year's draft, he unfortunately got the loss in his low A debut. But here's a look at his card. You can see that velocity and break is phenomenal. Other areas of his game are decent, but they just need a little bit of work. Another pitcher who's pitching down at low A in the Lynchburg Hillcats is Damien, another starting pitcher we picked, selected in the competitive balance round B, which was our third selection last year out of Rhode Island. Now, he's a 65 overall C potential, and Traylor had a very interesting story last year. He actually did not play at all last year in college ball for Rhode Island. He actually broke his thumb at the beginning of the season, so this is actually his first game back since that broken thumb, and he was a little spotty. I mean, when you haven't played in over a year, regardless of the level of play, you're not going to be at your top quality performance. He throws a four-seam fastball, a slider, a cutter, and a changeup. Now, he also still has good velocity, which is a plus. His four-seamer can clock in at about 95 miles an hour, so it's good that that thumb didn't fully affect his ability to throw some gas. Now, he also has pretty solid break on his slider and his cutter and his changeup, but the other parts of his game are a lot like Rod Berg's. I think he needs to round it out, so to speak. He can walk some batters. He doesn't strike out many. He can get hit at times. You can see he surrenders a run here in the 2 innings that we follow of Traylor. But I do think he's going to take a little bit longer to develop than Rod Berg. I think it's because he has that C potential. As you can see, he gives up a 2-run shot right here. 3 earned runs in his first 2 innings. Just a slow start for Traylor. But I do think he has an ETA of 2024, I'll say. A little bit longer than Berg. Maybe that's also a back half of the 2024. He's got C potential. And also another guy I don't really want to rush, so to speak. He's not going to develop as fast as Berg. So maybe Traylor spends this year in Lynchburg, and then maybe next year we can see what he does in Akron. And then if he does get an Akron, go up to Columbus and just kind of take it a step at a time. We also drafted a couple of pitchers in this year's draft class, so maybe Traylor can develop a little bit longer. As you can see, 21 years of age, so I like to give him, that would give him a 23 years of age when he ETAs. That's not bad. Now, last player we'll take a look at in Lynchburg is actually a first baseman that we drafted last year in Todd Fisher via Cal Poly. Now, Fisher was drafted in the 3rd round, and if you remember back to last year's draft, which I will link at the end of the video, Fisher is actually the last guy that we selected that had some an actual scouting on. And the thing about him is he's just very raw. There's really not much else to say. Fisher is a very raw prospect. He's currently a 49 overall with C potential, and he is going to take a lot of time, to say the least. Steps up to the plate here in the 9th with a bases loaded scenario, down by 2, and he grounds over to 3rd. Unfortunately, there was an error, so he was able to reach base, but did not deliver there. But I have his ETA at 2026. Now, that is also being very generous, as that's only 4 years from now. But when you're a 49 overall with C potential, that's kind of where I stand. Otherwise, his ETA might be never. I don't know if Fisher will ever make an impact at the college level, or at the pro level, excuse me, but he at least fills out the minor league roster. Now we're going to move up to AA, where Akron Rubber Ducks have a player that we selected in last year's draft, and coincidentally they're playing the Bowie Bay Sox today, which is also the Orioles affiliate, just like Delmarva, and that's because they have Derrick Garc. Now, Garc was our 2nd round pick a season ago from South Carolina, so go Gamecocks. He's a relief pitcher. He's been spending time in AA with Akron at 57 overall C potential, and he also has very good velocity and break. That's kind of a staple of the pitchers that we selected last year and some of the pitchers we selected this year is they got good velocity and break, and they just kind of need to work on his control. Now, the reason why he's in AA, unlike Berg and Traylor, who are in single A, is because, one, he's a relief pitcher, and relief pitchers, our depth for a relief pitcher isn't as good, and 2, is because he's got very good K per 9 that the other 2 do not. Garc will strike out some batters. Now, he didn't really do a good job here. And when I was actually trying to get these clips, our pitchers actually didn't do very good. But he throws a 4-seam fastball, a changeup, a curve, and a slider. I have his ETA set for 2025 just because he is a relief pitcher. He's going to need a couple of years, maybe 2026. I don't want to see Garc too early in the majors because, he got rocked a little bit here, and I don't want to see that happen at the MLB level. You can see his card here. Good K per 9. His other areas are in the 40s. Now, the last player we'll take a look at is part of the Columbus Clippers, our AAA squad, and that's Steve Arthur. Yes, we have a player last year who was selected who's already at AAA. Now, Steve Arthur is from Fresno, California via Clovis North High School, and we selected him in the 4th round. And he was actually a shot in the dark, and he ended up with 64 overall C potential, and we were able to agree on a contract to him. Now, he's already at AAA, and part of the reason why he's already at AAA is because he is actually our highest rated relief pitcher who is not at the majors. Now, at 64 overall, I don't know what that tells you about our relief pitcher depth, but that's part of the reason why he's already at AAA. Now, that doesn't mean he'll be at the majors anytime soon. I don't expect him to be it this year or next year, and if need be, I will send Arthur down to AA, but because he still has some development to do. Now, his walks per 9 is already in an elite spot, as you'll see in a second. His card says it's an 87, which is very good for a pitcher selected just 1 year ago. I have his ETA for 2024. That gives him some time to flesh out some of the other stuff, and that means he'd be making his debut at the age of 20, which would be very good for our relief pitcher depth. Now, that'll do it for today's episode. Next episode, we will finally get back to the Major League squad. We'll take a look at the White Sox series, as well as the Boston Red Sox. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know in the comments section below, did you enjoy this or not? Because this is something I could do in our potential MLB The Show 22 series. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.